Hi guys, barring any more phone calls in the next 5 seconds, I'm officially starting this video. I had a lot of ideas for videos coming in the next few months, but this was really the first one that I had in mind, and that was why I am so concerned about food in regards to this dog. Not only did I have a lot of problems with animals, my other dog and my family dogs getting into my food, anything I would drop on the floor, they would go after. I mean, dogs do that. I'm not saying that's going to be a problem with this dog, but my main thing is, since I am on the floor a lot, that is a main concern for me. So your next question, if you're watching this, is why are you on the floor? Why are you not in a wheelchair all the time? And that is a disability question, and that is also a personal preference of mine, that not only is it very hard on my body if I'm sitting all the time, which I can attest to, and various things I may go into in another video, but it's just easier for me to move around more efficiently and reach things if I'm on the floor. And I've been like this since I was a kid. That's how I've always gotten around. So one of my main concerns is them teaching this dog that I am going to be on the floor. Even though I am going to be on the floor, I am still in charge. Because a lot of dogs will see me, I'm lower than them, so they must be in charge. So that is what my cat thought. But I don't want that to be the case. So I just want to make sure that PGI knows when they're selecting a dog, and I will tell them this when they come to interview me, that I am on the floor 70 to 80% of the time. That may change given how my health progresses in the next several years. So since I've been having some joint problems, which I won't go into in this video, so I would ideally like them to train this dog on the floor, how I would have to train it and work with it. Sometimes I'm in a chair a lot, chair as in a recliner, and stuff like that. So I would like to be able to, get all my ducks in a row. I know this may be a silly thing to talk to them about, but I want the dog to be comfortable with that and understand that even though I'm on the floor, I am still in charge. And I don't know if a service dog has ever been trained to take commands from the floor or from somebody that's sitting on the floor and not in a wheelchair. I don't know how they would. I mean, I assume they're going to train this exactly how I would need it. But I just have so many questions for them, like how they would actually go about training specific things that I would need this dog to do. And I've just been really thinking about that because I'll probably do another video on this, but just how with me getting older, I'm having more physical problems getting around, and I'm going to need the dog's help with that. So I just want to be able to have the dog be comfortable with me having things on the floor, be that a bowl of popcorn or my medication, whatever that is, because that's another concern. I don't want the dog getting into the medication, but I know there's dogs, service dogs, that have to retrieve medication and they don't automatically go for it. They know it's off limits. And maybe I'm overthinking a lot of this, but I really need this dog to understand just because something is on the floor does not mean the dog can automatically have it. The rule of leave it and that the dog can only have something when I say it can still apply. So, but I mean, that's stuff that needs to be worked on both from my end and from the dog's end and stuff like that. I really, I might actually retitle this video, because it's more about concern about just that I'm on the floor a lot. And how I need the dog trained so it can respond to that, and how I move things around. I would demonstrate that, but I can't really hold a camera and show you guys what I actually do every day when I'm trying to move things around. Usually that's food, popcorn, my dinner, my lunch, and stuff like that. Usually my biggest problem was popcorn, because most of the well, not my cat, because my cat only liked applesauce, but most dogs would go after popcorn or anything that fell on the floor. In the case of my corgi, she would always go after anything that fell on the floor. Well, so will my mom's dog. I really need this dog to have a good, strong leave it command. And I will work on that personally, but I will also have the trainers at PGI work on that. Like, double down on this. This dog cannot touch anything on the floor unless I say so. But on this flip side of that, you also want the dog to be comfortable picking things up off the floor because it needs to. But that's a whole nother set of commands, that's a whole nother things that the dog needs to know. Essentially, the dog needs to know what's okay, what's not okay. But then you have to be realistic and say it's still a dog, it's still going to have a day where it's going to make mistakes. But I feel like I've been thrown into a lot of situations with the dogs I've been training where they didn't behave, so I freaked out. I don't want to be in that situation where the dog doesn't behave and I panic. And again, this is why I have this channel, is for my outlet, for my thoughts and my feelings about this. So it's just, again, it comes down to what the dog's going to be taught, and what it's going to learn. So I had a thought last night. I'm like, I was praying and I said, I just want to get a call today that says they have the dog, because I know this is going to take like a year and a half before the dog's actually placed with me. But I am at a point, unless I figure out what the heck is wrong with my joints, which I'll mention and I'll talk about this probably in a video next week. I'm going to need this dog sooner rather than later. Because if I can't even do what I normally can do, this dog's going to be very important. Because if I can't get up and down every 5 to 10 minutes to get something, I'm going to have to send the dog to go get this, go get that, go get a book from my bedroom or something like that. I might even have to rearrange the house, which I know I'm going to have to rearrange the house because I have to bring a dog food bin back in here and supplies out the wazoo, all the stuff my mom took when I rehomed my other dog. And I'm going to have to get new equipment because obviously this dog's going to be bigger than my last dog, so. This is very important to me, and not just for the sake of this channel, but just for my livelihood, and I really, really now see how important this is, because if I have a point where I'm even more disabled than I am now, and I'm not as mobile as I was, I want to still be independent. I just have to do it in a different way, and I always feel like a service dog is a big part of that. If you have a point where you can't do something, a dog is a big part of that. But that being said, I have to figure out if I can still do things the way I think I can do them, or there's not much point to getting the dog, because I still have to take care of the dog. So but that's a whole nother video. So we'll see how that ends up going, and I'm very curious to see how they'll actually train this dog for me, which I think I'll figure out once I actually go to the handler classes, which, like I said, we have to do for 6 to 8 months. And I think it's like another year before they place the dog with us. I'm not sure. So I'm hoping, like, by this time next year, at least I'm got a good dent in my training for this dog, providing they place the dog with me when I think they're going to, which should be within the next couple of months. That is, if they have a dog they think fits my lifestyle and stuff. The lady that runs the program has all my paperwork. I gave them the one phone number that I actually pick up, so they're not going to be trying to reach me on my landline, which I don't tend to pick up, so. But that's usually just how things go with me, and I just keep rolling, and we'll see how things go as far as my health and where things go with the dog. So, and you guys will know, because I'll probably have the video up as fast as I possibly can the day I get the call. So until next week, this is Service Dog Diaries signing off. Bye.